So yeah, folks, my name is Jason. I work here in distribution with these two amazing folks at MGT. We are super proud to be here with you today because what we spend all of our time is working with our agents. We love our agents. That's why we're in the roles that we're in. That's why MGT exists, is because we love partnering with agents and helping you provide your insureds with amazing insurance. So these meetings are especially special because we get to meet with you all and hands-on talk. So please use that chat feature to ask any questions that you like. There's also a Q&A. We'll interrupt Annalise if it's appropriate. If not, we'll hold it to the end. But we are here to interact with you. And this is one of my favorite times all week because we get to see our agents firsthand. So glad to have you here today.
And I'm Dan, National Sales Manager here at MGT. Don't tell Graham I made that slip up. And yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. We really enjoy working with agents. I think we are doing something kind of unique here at MGT as the only full stack AI-driven neo insurer. We are bringing a lot of tech to bear. And the really impressive thing to me is that so much of it's going on under the hood. So for you as the agent, and you'll see this as Annalise runs through the platform and shows us all how it works, it's really a very simple, easy, streamlined process, but behind the scenes, there's a lot of cool stuff going on to make it so that it is so easy and streamlined. And ultimately, the goal there is so that you can continue helping protect businesses in your community, but don't spend all day on the admin stuff. Really focus your time on doing what you really like to do, what you come into work every day, hoping to do, sell insurance.
Do you think everybody thinks Annalise is AI?
At this point, it definitely looks like it.
All right, well, off to you.
Alrighty, guys. Well, we'll go ahead and get started here. Let me share my screen. So apologies for these technical difficulties, as sometimes that just happens. My expectation is we see Annalise UAT here.
Yes, ma'am.
Great.
Yep.
Okay, so we're signed into the MGT platform. And one great thing about MGT here is that we're here to put our agents and our policyholders in control of their insurance needs. So as a policyholder, we have something called the self-service. And so I'll just jump in straight from a self-service perspective as a policyholder. So when a policyholder signs into MGT Insurance after you've got that quote set, they sign in and they have a profile. And in their profile, they have access to their policies. They can make changes to their profile, and we can see documents and communications, which is where I'll start. So this is documents and communications is a great place that you can show your policyholders that they can come in here and they can create their own certificates of insurance. They can print out their own declarations page, and they can also see all the communications that's been happening with their policy, from endorsements to changes to payment notifications. So this is something that all policyholders have access to. If we go back to the account, the policyholder can also make changes to their profile. Let's say they forgot their password, they want to reset a password, that could be done right down here. And also, let's say that the agency has changed communications, they can update the contact information here. And we can also change the email address. So maybe the treasurer changes at the organization. You want to make sure the new treasurer gets the email updated. They can all do that here. And this is something that policyholders are in control of. So you can always have them navigate to their MGT profile and they can make these changes. The next thing we want to just show you here is the policy. So this is just a little overview of the policy, when it is in effect, when it will expire, and then also another place you can get the declarations page. The last thing that we'll go over as far as a policyholder is the payments area. So if we go to payments home, we can see here that you have the ability to pay the bill, view the balances. Just taking a little second to load here. We'll see here that I'm on an annual plan here, and I pay auto pay, and we'll see that this next payment is due here, and we can see all the payment activity. One thing to notice is the payment method area. This is something that policyholders can change. So let's say the credit card changes or they want to update the payment method. We can do that here under the payment method area. So under payments, payment method, that's where we handle all the payments. This is currently stored on a third-party server, so it is all secure. So your policyholders can feel rest assured that all their information is secure. So just wanted to go over the policyholder point of view when they are at MGT Insurance. Like I mentioned, we want people to feel in control of their policies, and we want our agents to empower their policyholders. So that is the policyholder profile. A lot of options for policyholders to be in control of their policy. So now let's jump into the magic, which is the agent side of things. So when you log into MGT Insurance, you're going to be brought here to this welcome page. It's going to give you a quick overview right here where we are licensed or where we're able to sell insurance. And then if you click this link right here, it's going to give you more details about what it is we offer. I'm going to scroll down a little bit and just show you how this looks. You have quotes. So these are quotes that you start and get through finished, and they're all going to save here. So you'll see I have quotes all the way back to March, and then I have some recent quotes that I've worked with here, all with different effective dates. So that's a great way to kind of keep track of what you have in motion. And then we have policies. So these are quotes that you've taken all the way to bind, and then you can see the policy information here. So as an agent, that's how you can see your quotes and policies. One thing I'll note is as an agent, you only have access to your quotes and policies. If your organization or your team would like a customer service profile, that's a really good tool that we offer. And what that customer service profile does, it allows the organization to have one person who has the overview of all the quotes and policies within that organization. So they would be able to see my quotes and Dan's quotes, and they would also be able to see our policies. What's great about that is that customer service rep could assist your team in getting those certificate of insurances or getting that deck page if you want to have that white glove service for your policyholders. So having that option is great. So I'm going to go ahead and jump straight into the quote here. One thing that we've done is you don't need to memorize any sort of business quotes, business codes. You can just type in the type of business, and you're going to go from the drop down and select whether or not that is a service that we offer. And the same thing here too, is that you can start typing out the address, and we use Google Maps to select whether or not that address is what we'll use. I'm going to do a quote here for an office that I know we don't have service for. So if you're typing in a business class and, oops, it does say we have veterinarians. Let me try something that I know.
You could do roofers. Those are always my go-to for like good luck finding that in the admitted market.
Yes, so thank you, Jason. So you'll see here, once I put it in this class code, if I get this error right away, we're going to let you know that this is not a class that we're going to be able to offer a quote for. So you can go ahead and take this quote elsewhere. If at any time during the quote process you get this specific message saying that it's ineligible, that's kind of your cue to take the quote elsewhere. We're not going to be able to provide your quote, but we do that because we don't want to waste your time. We want to get you through the door with something that's bindable. And so we don't want to get all that data and say, oops, thanks for the data, but we're not going to be able to offer anything. We want to be really transparent with you folks and protect your time. So I'm going to go ahead and just select a nail salon here. I'm going to select this address, and I'm going to select go. And so we're starting the quoting process right away here. You'll see here that this Google Maps is going to pull up the location of the address that you just selected. And we're going to ask right away whether or not you want to insure the buildings at this location.
While you're loading that up really quick, Annalise, I would
Yeah.
love to point out to the people who are present that we just launched 2 brand new classes today as well, convenience stores and liquor stores. So Annalise is quoting one of our most highly used classes of nail salons. And we get the feeling we're going to get a lot in for the grocery stores that we recently launched, and liquor stores and convenience stores too. So sorry to interrupt your flow. I felt like that would be a good place to kind of toss in the little marketing note that we added some new stuff.
Yes, definitely. Not a problem. And then, okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and continue here. The next page I'm gonna show you is just kind of the basics about the business organization. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually just jump right out of this quote and jump into a quote that I've already started so we don't have to watch me type around. So let me just jump right into this quote here. So this is also a nail salon quote that I've already started. And the quote process here at MGT is going to be 4 steps. It's going to be a little bit about the organization, getting more into the organization's activities, locations, and optional coverages. So I'm going to jump into step 1 here. And we're going to go ahead and just confirm here that this is all the services that we offer. It's just a nail salon. So we're really set up for single business sort of policies, not multiple businesses within one policy. Next, we'll go down here and we'll check out the address, the phone number, websites, just really basic information about the business, estimated gross sales. And then we're going to go ahead and select continue. You can add up to 4 locations on a policy if it was sort of multiple locations at the business. And then we're going to jump into more about the organization, what kind of organizational structure it is, how many employees, what insurance provider you had previously, and if there were any claims. One thing to notice that if you had claims on a previous insurance policy, that's not a problem. We'll probably just have a referral to our underwriter, but we'll allow you to go through with the quote. So then we're going to go ahead and jump into step 2, which is going to be a little bit more about the organization. Is it a home-based business? Are we open after 9? One thing we like to highlight here is you can add special events if the organization has special events. Let's say they have a Christmas drive or a Valentine's Day thing. You can go ahead and add that special events coverage right as we're going through the quote so that you know when that event comes up, your policyholder is already covered. One thing that some people get caught up on right here is this FDA regulations questions, and the answer is usually going to be yes. And what that is saying that all the items that are used within that business are safe. And then we want to just agree that all the stuff is correct. And then we're just moving through the quote. And so this is going to be step 3, telling us more about your locations. This is a business personal property only quote. So you can see that here, right here. And then we're going to grab some information about the location. One thing to know is that if there is automatic sprinklers, there is a little bit of a discount that we throw in there. And then we're just going to select the amount of business personal property within the building.
Hey.
Having the
Annalise, sorry to
Yep.
interrupt you. We got a really great question from Trish. Is it considered a home-based business if that's the mailing address and office for the insured only, no customers? Either you or Dan can jump in on this if you want to.
Yeah, I think Dan, do you mind?
Sure. Yeah, so that would still be a home-based business, but that is the kind of home-based business that we are looking for. So it will refer up to our underwriting team, just so they can put eyes on it, make sure they're still comfortable with the risk, but should have no problem getting through. And if that does happen, yeah, it's actually great that you get to see the human team too, because what you're seeing on the screen now, that's our amazing tech, but the tech's just part of the story. The amazing human team here at MGT is really where the magic comes together and where we can help deliver on that insured promise to our policyholders.
Thanks, Annalise. And great question, Trish.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Keep the questions coming, guys. Awesome. So then right here, we're going to ask if you have any additional insureds. This is something that you can add right in the quote if you already know who the AIs are going to be. Let's say we run the quote, you actually bind it, and you find that you need to add additional insureds. That's somewhere that you can just reach out to our team directly with that request, and we'll go ahead and do that for you on the back end. So I'll share that information with you if you need to make any changes to the policy. And then the last part right here is choosing optional coverages. So I've selected professional liability as it is a nail salon, and I want to make sure that my team is covered here. And then with that, we're going to grab some more information about the professional liability. We'll select that it's to nail techs here, and then we'll just acknowledge that what the professional liability is covering. and then we'll select agree. And so I know that quote process seems really quick, but it actually really is that quick. As long as you have all the information to input a solid quote, you're going to be able to get through this pretty quickly. We see about 10 minutes being the most amount of time it really takes. Some people fly through it within 5 or 10 minutes. And so right here, what you see happening is this is where we're producing the quote. We've done all the scoring on the back end. Using all the information you've provided, we've decided that this is the quote that we are able to provide you. Policyholders have the option to pay in a quarterly installment, so it's one upfront installment with 3 following installments. Or if they choose to pay annually, we do throw in a little bit of a discount there. You'll see here that this is all the coverages that we've selected for the policy, and these coverages could be changed. So let's say we want to maybe increase the deductible. I want to increase this right here. All these numbers you see here, these are workable numbers. So again, we're not going to allow you to make changes and say, oops, that's not going to work for us. We're going to allow you to make these changes, and then we're going to recalculate the quote. And so you can recalculate the quote right here as you make those changes, and it's going to go ahead and decide what's going to happen to that quote. So we see here that it went down just a little bit because I raised my deductible so high. And so this is now a bindable quote. We've actually got this quote from quote into a bind state without any referrals from an underwriter. And that's the perfect path and what we're really hoping to get here at MGT. So then I'll show you next what the payment options look like. So you can print the quote, send it over to the potential policyholder. They can take a look at it, make sure everything's good. Let's say that you're in the office with them or on the phone and they decide, you know what, this is the best thing that we've seen. Let's go ahead and make this happen. We're going to go ahead and go to the confirm and purchase page. And there's 2 options here at confirm and purchase. Like I mentioned, we really want the policyholders to feel in control, but as an agent, we also want you to feel in control of this policy. So you can do one of 2 things. You can send it to the prospect. What that's going to do is going to prompt you to get their email information, confirm the contact information, and send it right over to them. That's going to prompt them to create their MGT profile, make the payment, and accept the terms and conditions. This is a great way to actually get your policyholder in control of their policy at the start of working with MGT Insurance. This portion takes care of the authorization request that we need from the policyholder to make sure that the policyholder stays active. But let's say the policyholder just wants to purchase it now. You can do that for them on their behalf. Let's say you have them on the phone, they're going to give you their credit card information, or they're in the office and they're going to give you the information. You'll select here whether or not it's annually or quarterly. You'll select the payment method, the zip code, and then this is an important part right here, the auto pay. We want to make sure that auto pay is enabled to just ensure that there's no lapse in coverages. So auto pay is something that we highly encourage. If your policyholder doesn't feel comfortable with it, not a problem, we'll take that off. But it's very important that they then continue to follow the communications, because if a renewal comes up or a payment is failed, they're going to need to do that manually. So we highly encourage the auto pay to prevent any of those sorts of mistakes. And then we'll go ahead and make the corrections above, and then we'll submit the payment, and then the policy is then bound. One thing I want to note here also is if you purchase it for the policyholder on their behalf, they are going to get an email and they're going to need to accept the terms and conditions. And so it's really important that they do that, because if they don't do it within the certain time frame, the policy will go into cancellations. And that terms and conditions is acknowledging the auto pay and acknowledging all the tech that we have behind the scenes. So that is really how you take a policy from quote to bind here at MGT Insurance. One thing I wanted to show you guys is what does it look like when we have some referrals that need to happen. So you're able to get a quote, but you're not able to bind it because we have an underwriter request. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you what that looks like here. We're going to go into this quote here that I've started for an auto parts supplier. And we're going to go ahead to see the quote. And I was able to get the quote all the way to the end, but I'm not able to bind. And that's because we have some underwriter referrals that have happened here. So as this loads, we're going to see that this message right here, you have unworked referrals or rejections within this quote. What this does is that it lets our underwriter know that, hey, this quote has come through, there's some unworked referrals, and it goes in his queue and he handles it in the order in which it comes through. But let's say this looks like a great attractive quote, you really want to get it into a bindable state. You can email our underwriting team here at MGT Insurance, give them the quote information, and we can have the team expedite that for you. So that's a little bit of the human touch that we have here, is that yes, it is all going through on the technical side, but if you need something expedited or you need to get in touch with us, you can do so here for this quote.
And Annalise, really quick,
Yes.
either you or Dan as well, what should our agents expect should be the regular turnaround time from our underwriting team?
Typically, we resolve referrals the same day they come in.
Same
It
day.
was
Yep. Same day.
It was definitely a leading question,
Yeah.
but yes, Annalise, I think that's such a wonderful thing to point out, and Annalise is often the one who is helping the agents out and make sure that everything gets expedited, but oftentimes you won't even need it expedited because you'll hear from our underwriting team that same day.
Yep, very true. And sometimes too, someone just wants it done right away within the hour, and that's kind of what I've seen in recent times here. So we are always on it, but if we want a little bit faster, you can get in touch with us. And so, folks, I know I went through that a little bit quickly, but it is really that easy and that straightforward here at MGT Insurance. The tech is here to enable you to move with ease and feel confident in what it is we're providing you guys and your policyholders. So on the same note, policyholders can get in touch with our team, but we really want them to lean on you since you're going to be the expert in the MGT platform to encourage them to feel in control of their policies here. Awesome. I'm sorry that you folks cannot see me. Sometimes tech does not work in our favor, but this has been a great demo for me, and we're happy to answer any questions we've got.
Yeah, excellent job, Annalise. And we have had some really great questions come through throughout, and you and Dan both have done a great job helping out with those. I'm going to vamp for a couple moments just to give the folks in attendance a chance to ask any last minute questions. But yeah, great job today, Annalise. One thing that I would love for you to do, if you don't mind, is what is it that you interact with agents on a day-to-day basis? Like how do they come across you?
Yeah, definitely. So I work in support and in onboarding for agents. So a lot of the times, if you've just onboarded with MGT Insurance, you might have gotten emails from me asking you to get onboarded with us. And another way is if you have requests, if you need an additional insured or you have questions about your policy, you can email support at MGT Insurance or give us a call. So I'm really on the front lines helping agents, really empowering agents. What I want to do is I want to teach you how to use the MGT platform so that you can in turn feel in control here. So that is really what I do at MGT, and I'm always available for your team if anybody has any questions.
It's what you do an awesome job at. And it's such a great segue for me to say the same, that while Annalise is really bearing the brunt of the whole team with those things, Dan and I are here to support you too. You can reach out to us at any time, and we would love to hear from you and help out too. So yeah, I think we've given them enough time to ask any lingering questions if they have any. Folks, thank you so much for attending today. Annalise, great job with the demo. Dan, thanks for your support. Y'all, I can't say it enough. We're so glad to have you present with us. We're really looking forward to working with you. Reach out if you need anything at all, but we will see you in the system quoting. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, guys.